Welcome to Medical Student Life in Japan, a podcast created by a teacher and a group of medical students at Nara Medical University.
We are a small medical college in the Kansai region of Japan. This podcast has two great purposes.
One is to share stories about being a medical student here in Japan.
And also for our students to share fun ideas, opinions, and information about Japanese culture to people all over the world.
Thanks a lot for listening. Welcome back to Medical Student Life in Japan. I hope you've been having a wonderful summer. It's still very hot and humid here in Japan, but it's getting a little bit better each day, and we are moving into our second semester. Today, I bring to you a very special episode. I had a chance to sit down with a former student of mine, now a second-year student, Yuzu. Yuzu is just an incredible student here at our university, and she's very interested in English study and decided to stop by for a wonderful chat. She talked about all kinds of fun things, including movies and the clubs she's in. But most importantly, she also talked about her English journey, which I think would be very interesting for our audience living overseas and even here in Japan. So we hope you enjoy it. I certainly enjoyed catching up with Yuzu again. In the meantime, as usual, please share our podcast and like it. You can always contact us by leaving us a voice message through Spotify or Anchor, or sending us an email. We love to hear from you, and thanks as always for listening. Okay, welcome back to Medical Student Life in Japan. And today we have a wonderful student, Yuzu. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
You're doing great. Okay. This would be your first time to join the podcast. So can you introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm now second-year student in Nara Medical University, and I belong to basketball club.
Basketball club. Oh,
Yes.
that's right. Great.
And I like speaking English.
And you like speaking English?
Yes.
Oh, then you're very welcome on the podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Perfect. So you're in the basketball club.
Yes.
And what position do you play?
For now, we don't have like certain position,
I see.
but like I am practicing to be able to play at every part
Wow.
of
Oh,
the
every position.
Yes.
So point guard, shooting guard, forward, small forward, power forward, and center.
Mhm.
Maybe, I don't know how tall the other players are, but maybe you could be a point guard.
Mhm.
Oh. Yeah. So are you good at shooting?
Not really.
Not really. Oh, okay.
My senpai,
Yes. Senpai. So in English, maybe senior. Yeah.
seniors are really good at it, and
Yeah.
they often teach me how to do it.
That's great.
Yes.
I have an idea that might help you.
Oh, really?
I was just talking about this with my daughter the other
Mhm.
day. Daughters, they both are in basketball.
Mhm.
And,
Wow.
Yeah. Their elementary school has a club,
Mhm.
and students from our little town, if you remember, from our little tea village, they can join Wednesdays and Fridays.
Mhm.
Yes. So I heard about this research study,
Yes.
and in the study, they took two groups of basketball players.
Mhm.
They're all quite good basketball players, fairly high level.
Mhm.
And they did some training. And one group of players practiced doing free throws,
Oh, I see.
many, many free throws.
Mhm.
And the other group only imagined doing the free throws.
Mhm.
So one group physically shot free throws many, many times. The other group just tried to imagine themselves shooting the free throws many times. And then there was some kind of evaluation at the end of the experiment. And the results were really interesting because the players who shot the free throws and the players who didn't practice shooting,
Mhm.
only imagining, had the same results.
Wow.
So the players who just imagined were doing just as well or improved just as much as the other players. So the theory, as you can guess,
Yes.
is that, of course, we think practice is important.
Yes.
We talked about that many times in English class last year. For our listeners, by the way, Yuzu was in a couple of my English classes last year, the regular compulsory class and our elective
Mhm.
class. So I often said practice is important, but it seems that not just practice, but if you can imagine yourself shooting the shots, you can make improvements.
Mm.
So since you're in the basketball club,
I
it might be a good strategy for you to, of course, practice in the gym,
yes.
but maybe when you're riding the train
Mhm.
or, just before you fall asleep, you imagine
Yes.
yourself.
Yeah,
Could be.
I think that's really cool
Yeah.
because practicing basketball around near my house is a
Mm.
bit too much sound,
I see.
and I a little bit care about it.
Yeah, I
So
understand. I understand.
I
Maybe
only
there's many houses
Yes.
nearby. Yeah.
so I only can practice in university,
Oh,
but we only have twice a week.
yeah.
So I think I should imagine more.
I think you should.
Yes,
Yeah. I mean, it's easier, right? You
Yes.
don't have to actually physically move. So, I told that to my daughter. So we'll see if they follow it,
Yeah.
but it seems effective. So you can imagine that for other things too,
Yeah. Oh.
right? So
Yes.
that's basketball, but maybe as a medical student,
Mhm.
this could also be useful
Mhm.
because in second year, what kind of classes are you doing now?
Now we're doing anatomy,
Anatomy,
physiology,
physiology.
and
So, for example, what do you do in the anatomy class?
in anatomy class, we actually saw we actually did humans anatomy.
Oh, so
How
like
can we say it?
dissection or
Yeah.
so you're taking the cadaver, the human cadaver,
Yes.
and looking at the different
Yes.
organs. So you have to cut them open and
Inside. Yes.
yeah, and then learn about the different body parts and the
Mhm.
functions of right.
Yes.
Yeah. How is that, by the way? How did you feel? I've heard different responses from different students.
At first,
Hmm.
it was quite I was a little bit scared
Yeah.
of it because
Mm.
I have never seen inside the person.
Right.
But as we did,
Hmm.
I think it was kind of interesting
Yeah.
because I think we don't have that opportunity
Hmm.
before or after that class.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So
Oh.
I had a good time learning about humans' body.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on what field of medicine you
Mhm.
go into, but yeah, probably for many students, this is the only opportunity to study the human body and organs in this way.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So if we go back to what we said about the
Yeah.
basketball practice,
Yes.
then of course, the physical training I think is important.
Mhm.
Even though some students, maybe you too, at first it's quite maybe scary or surprising to be working with a dead body.
Yeah.
So, but now that you've done that,
Yeah.
you can actually imagine yourself
Mhm.
looking at the organs, or maybe if you go into surgery, for example,
Yes.
maybe some doctors, rather than doing the surgery, actually practicing in their
Mhm.
mind could be effective. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. And I also watch a lot of basketball games
Hmm.
to gain skills.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of imagining.
Yeah. I think so.
So I think that's really effective.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, probably if you remember from last year's English class, we
Yeah.
had a topic like practice and
Mhm.
skill versus knowledge.
Yes.
And maybe the first thought is knowledge, like math or sorry, history, for example, you learn through reading. That, on the other hand, something like basketball couldn't be learned from watching. But maybe with this idea, there is some benefit to watching a lot of basketball because you can imagine yourself doing those things. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that before, actually. I always thought, just watching is not that, it's fun maybe, but actually maybe, it could be good. Like they say, when you watch a movie, for example, or a drama, have you ever watched like a sad movie and you made you cry?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I recently.
Oh, okay. Maybe we can discuss that. So the theory, I believe, is the reason it makes you cry is you can actually imagine yourself in the situation. So I think we talked about this in English classes as well, like something like a mirror neurons. We did, right? Yeah. So we can have the same reaction to an event that we watch as we participate in. So can I ask what movie you watched?
It was a Korean drama.
A Korean drama. Oh yeah.
Called Tokkebi.
Tokkebi. Okay. What is the idea behind the show?
It is kind of fantasy.
Oh, okay.
But I actually put myself into the drama and
I
I
see.
cried a lot.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, it was a story about a Tokkebi is non-human.
Okay.
He lives for around 900 years.
Wow. Interesting.
And he cannot die without without his wife.
Oh, I see.
And he is looking for his wife for 900 years.
Okay, so the theory is if he finds her, he can finally die. And he wants to die because he's living
at first, but at the end it changes.
Okay, well, don't tell me. Spoiler.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Spoiler alert for our audience if you're about to watch Tokkebi or going to watch. Where can you watch this show? Is this on Netflix or Disney Plus? Okay.
Netflix,
one of those. Okay, so some streaming services. And when you watch it, do you watch in Japanese speaking or Korean speaking, Japanese subtitles, or English, or?
I watched that Korean speaking in Japanese subtitles.
I see. Are you studying Korean?
Because of that drama,
No,
I started.
Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, I think the same way. If you can get really interested in a show, it makes you want to learn some more. Okay, I might try to watch that. It sounds really good.
Yeah.
I do know that Korean dramas are really popular in Japan.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but it was my first time to watch Korean drama.
Is it? Okay. Have you heard of Squid Games?
I a little bit watched that.
Okay. Yeah. That was also of course it's a game, but it's also very dramatic, and you could imagine yourself in the situation. I thought that was it was really popular in America, I heard, but I'm not sure about Japan. Was it?
It
popular?
was popular.
It was okay.
Yes.
Yeah. The Korean dramas are really, Korean music and dramas are really popular in Japan. Yeah.
And I also watched Top Gun. Maverick.
Oh, the new movie.
Yes.
Oh, did you see it in the theater?
Yes.
Okay, how was it?
It was also cool.
It was cool. Okay. Had you seen the first Top Gun?
Now I really want to see it.
Okay,
after watching the Maverick.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what year that was. I mean, I've seen the old one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I was probably a kid at the time, so maybe.
So it was your age at that time.
Maybe I don't remember exactly, but 1980s. So I was probably 10 or something. Oh, yeah, and it was a cool movie then. So, but now Tom Cruise, he's kind of old, right?
He's 60 years old.
60? Is he really?
Yes.
Wow.
But he doesn't seem old.
Why do you think so?
I don't know. He do a lot of workouts.
A lot of workouts? Do you think so? A lot of training?
Yes.
Oh, do you think he's had any physical surgeries or plastic surgery or something? Or?
I've never imagined that.
Yeah.
But I also saw that movie with English speaking and Japanese subtitles.
I see. Okay. Could you understand the?
Yes.
Yeah. Now your level is, as our audience will probably notice, is quite high. We didn't mention this, but maybe we can talk real briefly. How did you get interested in English? You mentioned you like English. What was your experience with English before medical college?
Oh, first, when I was 0 years old,
0. Okay.
my mom
Oh.
wanted me to be able to speak English.
Yes.
So she took me to the English class,
Okay.
and also she
So she was studying English, or she
could
put
speak.
you into an English class?
She put me
Okay. Like a kid's, like a
Yes.
baby kid's
like
English.
from
Okay.
ABC,
I see.
apple.
Yeah. That's good.
And then not only that class, but my mom also pretend that she couldn't speak English.
Interesting.
No, she couldn't speak Japanese.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. She's like, no English. No English. You're like, oh, baby. You're like, mom, that's fine. Okay. No Japanese.
at
Yeah.
home.
Oh,
So in my family,
Yeah.
my dad was the only person I could speak Japanese.
I see.
And I also went to international kindergarten.
I see.
So-
Now, do you have any brothers or sisters?
Oh, I have a younger sister, but she was born when I was 6.
Okay.
And at that time, I knew my mom could speak Japanese.
I see. Oh,
Yes, but until I knew it,
Yeah.
more than half of my life was in English.
I see. That's
And-
great.
Yes, the environment made me like English.
Yeah, I think so.
And
Maybe she was showing like videos
Yes,
and things like that
like
too.
Disney.
Yeah. So as you know, I have 2 daughters, and we've done something similar. Now, their mother didn't necessarily pretend,
Mhm.
but she spoke English to the
Mhm.
kids. So we tried to both speak English at home.
Wow.
And some Japanese people would ask, "Are you worried about their Japanese ability?" And I
Mhm.
said, "No, because everything else is Japanese." So they go to school, nursery school in Japanese, or
I see.
elementary school, everything's Japanese. Their other relatives speak Japanese. So it seemed like that was the most effective strategy. And they both are bilingual now. And obviously your English level is quite high.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah. So I think your mother was very clever to use a strategy. So that means, of course, it means your mother had to be capable of doing that.
Yes.
So, but I would say, if someone asked, most Japanese people studied English a lot.
Yes.
So even those parents who can't speak English well, or don't think they can still do something like your mother. So I always recommend reading English books
Yes.
to your kids, because they should be able to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good strategy.
Yes.
Oh,
And about the video, my
yeah,
mom
videos.
showed,
Yeah,
she never put Japanese subtitles.
that's smart.
So
Yeah.
only English
Right.
Speaking,
Yeah.
or English speaking and English subtitles.
That's great.
So-
Yeah. So you were able to maybe learn reading early. And
Yes.
that's really good. Oh,
And because of that,
Yeah.
my English level went over my mom.
oh wow.
So when we went to Guam, when I
Yeah.
was 5,
Yeah.
I was the translator
Oh wow.
for my mom and dad.
That's amazing. And I bet that felt really good
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
to be this important person on the trip. Yeah. Wow.
Yes.
That's great. So you went to Guam.
Yes.
And then I think I remember you got to go overseas for
Oh.
study.
Yes, I went
Yeah.
to Australia
Australia,
for 2 months
2 months. Okay.
in a dorm. So I
Dorm,
lived
yeah.
in dorm,
Yeah.
and that was the longest studying abroad
Mm.
in my life.
Were you taking English classes
Oh,
while you were there, or
yes, I took same class
Okay.
with
the regular
Yes.
student? Was that high school,
and
junior high school?
grade 7. So
Grade
it's
seven, junior high school.
junior high school.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow. That's great. Wow. So you went over, so you must have been like 13 or so.
Yes, I was 12.
12.
Like-
Wow.
I went there before graduating primary school.
Wow. For 2 months.
Yes,
Wow. Without your parents and
yes, only
Oh.
me and my friends.
wow.
Like-
From the same school?
Yes,
Okay.
only two of us
Yeah.
went there.
Oh wow.
And Japanese teacher was there for like 1 week,
Hmm.
for the first 1 week, but
Yeah.
they went back to Japan.
Yeah.
So we were like left in Australia,
Yeah. Wow.
but we had a lot of fun.
Yeah. And maybe stayed. Oh, you said a dormitory.
Yes,
Okay. So.
yes.
Oh, interesting.
It-
Uh,
It was the only opportunity I
Yeah.
stayed in dorm. Like other was
hmm.
in homestay.
Homestay. Yeah.
So it was quite different,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
it was worth it.
Yeah. That's great. Wow. So, maybe for students who want to be good at English or improve their English, you're a good role model.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I think now, of course, maybe the audience many people listen from overseas,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of listeners in Japan too. And so if they hear your story, I think it would be good motivation
Oh.
for practicing English. So
Mhm.
yeah. Okay, let's maybe finish up here.
Yes.
And Yuzu, thanks for coming. And maybe you'll come back
Yes, of course.
and we can talk about other topics
Mhm.
as well next time. Okay, thanks a lot. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.